Healing Conversations with Coach Vee. I'm Coach Vee, certified life coach and personal growth expert with SVM Initiatives, LLC. So as I told you at the end of last week's episode, my guest today is, in my opinion, a spiritual guru, an enlightened one. Matter of fact, he goes by the name of Chris Enlightened. So I want to welcome my brother Chris to the space today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm winning.
And?
Winning. So, inside scoop. For those of you who may not know who Chris Enlightened is, one of his favorite sayings or hashtags is winning. So I'm we're gonna sprinkle that around during our conversation today, because that's his brand. That's what he do. He just wins, like every day, just winning. So I'm so excited to have him. And also too, Chris is the son of the author Emma Huffman. So if you remember her here, she was here the second week of our recording. Amazing sister. Talked to us about altar work and whatnot. So we're gonna see what her son got to say to us today. So I know I gave you an introduction, Chris, but if you could please introduce yourself your way to the people.
Well, my name is Chris Enlightened. I'm a spiritual life coach. I'm a healer. I'm a martial artist. I'm a best-selling author on Amazon. And I love to win. I'm a solar adept.
Yes.
And I make people feel good.
Yes. See, all that stuff I missed, that's why I wanted to make sure that he filled in where I missed some things. I know he would do it better. So, as we know, Chris, I'm so excited, so I'm trying to temper myself. But as we know, the show, as I mentioned, is about healing and people's personal paths of healing, just out there, just open. So, but I always say, in order for people to appreciate who you are today, they kind of got to get some background or know where you came from. So, are you from Cincinnati? Did you grow up here? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I was born and raised in Cincinnati. I grew up in Lincoln Courts.
Okay.
I was there for like the first 17 years of my life. And like the rest of my brothers down there, we didn't have our fathers around, so it was rough. My mom worked a lot. So it was really rough growing up, and I was surrounded by poverty. And I just felt as if I didn't deserve much in life because everyone around me had less. So by the time I was 17, I started realizing if the only way for me to make it out of this is by me changing my consciousness and evolving. So ever since I was 17, I've been changing everything about myself to better myself. And that's where it all started.
So you dropped some big words in here today, changing your consciousness and evolving. So before we deep dive into that, give us just a little glimpse of where you were that made you feel like, okay, it's time to do something different.
You know, I met my wife when I was 15, and by the time we were 19, we had our first child. We were living in Atlanta, and we were scratching and surviving. And I knew working wasn't getting it, so I had to devise a way to make a plan to better myself and my family. So by the time I was 23, I started taking Dragon Fist Kung Fu, and martial arts changed my life. It helped me ground myself and center myself, and by the time I was 30, I started taking Wing Chun Kung Fu, and my life changed. From there, I started meditating. I started my altar work, and just working with my altar just changed my life. Doing altar work, altar magic, things like that. Learning mantras, sun gazing, writing, and just pretty much transformed my paradigm.
I was just so ready, and I see you ready to deep dive. So let's break this down for those who may be hearing these terms for the very first time. So one of the things that you said you began to do was to meditate.
Yes.
Give us a little glimpse of what meditation means for you.
You know, there's many ways to meditate. The most common way is to just sit there quietly and just let your mind just go. There's walking meditation. There's laughing meditation. We do it innately. It's kind of like breathing. We do it when we don't even know we're doing it. Sometimes you're in your car driving, and all of a sudden you're like, "How did I get here?" Your body took you there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what meditation does. It expands your consciousness, and it helps you evolve. The more you do it, the more it brings out your gifts, your natural gifts. I'm also a numerologist too, so.
Okay, then let's not forget anything, Chris. Let's not forget anything. Okay.
I'm a certified numerologist, and I've realized that when I work with divination, it helps expound on my natural innate gifts.
Okay.
So I help people find their life paths, their soul urges, and things like that.
Okay. So when people come to you, whether they're new to meditation, new to expanding their consciousness, how do you introduce someone to your form of healing?
When people call me during their consultations, the first thing I always ask them is, how long have you been meditating? If they haven't, I start everybody out with just 10 minutes. I give everyone the first prayer, the miracle prayer, the Anima.
Yes.
I make sure that's a requirement that they memorize it, because once you memorize it, it's branded on your soul.
Absolutely.
And it creates miracles in your life. And once I do a numerology reading for them, I introduce them to at least 6 deities that'll help them grow.
Okay.
And with all that, I help them get their altar set up. I tell them all the tools they need to get their altar set up, and that's when their life usually changes.
Okay. So while you're helping, may I call them clients? Is
Sure.
that what you? So while you are helping your clients through their healing journey, is there something that is also beneficial to you as well on that path?
Yeah, whenever you give light, you get light in return.
Yes.
And the more light you give, your spiritual signature that the universe recognizes changes as well.
Yes.
So a lot of us are sitting around here with, I won't say dark auras, but the light isn't as bright as others.
Okay.
And when you start to brighten your spiritual aura, beings and different things happens to you to help you out.
Okay.
And they see you clearer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. So something else that you mentioned was about altar work. And I remember your mom mentioned that as well and gave us her interpretation. So let's hear from Chris Enlightened.
Well,
what
my
that
mom,
means.
she was going through cancer. She had a cancer scare, and I helped heal her from cancer. And I told her that I get my power through the altar.
Okay.
And after she went to the doctor and they couldn't find any more traces of her cancer, she picked up the altar as well.
That she became a believer quickly.
She's an avid altar worker now.
Yes.
In her life, she's been writing books and everything ever since.
Yes, yes.
So what the altar is nothing more than a physical representation of your spirituality.
Okay.
So as you grow, your altar is going to grow.
Okay, so let me rewind that. You said that an altar is nothing more than a physical representation of your spirituality.
Correct.
So let's make sure we break that down again for the viewers who probably the first time hearing this, or maybe they've heard about it and they want to learn more. Like, I wanted to give you the opportunity to just.
Okay. Well, when your ancestors transition, they need things.
Okay.
Like we need food and water and air and money in this reality. They need things where they're at in their reality.
Okay.
And unfortunately, where they're at, resources are really scarce.
Okay.
So it's our job to do it for them.
Okay.
Like every night I give them some food. They don't eat the food, but they take the energy from the food.
Okay.
And
So you physically put food on the altar?
I physically put
like
food on
that you eat?
Food that I eat.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also burn ancestor money. And what ancestor money does is open up a way for them to get what they need over there. They don't actually, money doesn't fall out in the sky for them or where they are, but different doors of opportunity open up for them.
So this practice, how does that help your clients heal? How did it help you heal? I know we touched on how it helped mom heal, but can you break it down a little more so that the people in the back can understand what you're saying? Because you're dropping some major new things to some new people. So how does that help?
Well, everyone knows about video games and cheat codes.
Yes.
They help you do better in the game. So this is the game of life. And what the ancestor altar does is give you cheat codes to your current reality.
Okay.
So let's say you're on your way to work and you would have been in a car wreck. Something may have happened for you to like mistakenly miss your keys. You forget where your keys were at and you miss that accident.
That delayed you.
That delayed you. That's how our ancestors help us. Like if you're going for a job interview, they'll whisper in the person's ear or make something happen for it to go your way.
Okay.
And I've been winning ever since. I've been rocking with my ancestor altar. I wear spiritual tools all around me because they help me. This is my protection medallion.
I want you to talk about that.
Yes. Okay. And I was getting pulled over by the police all the time. I don't think I looked like a violent person, but they did.
I don't feel threatened.
Good. But I was getting pulled over, handcuffed, thrown to the ground, all type of degrading things all the time with my family and daughter watching. And ever since I started investing in spiritual tools, all this stuff stopped.
Wow.
The police get behind me and they find a way to go around me. They don't see me anymore.
Wow.
That's the benefit of taking care of your ancestors. They take care of you. They take care of you on many facets of your life. Financially, I'm doing better than ever. I feel great. I don't have any ailments. I feel as if I'm not aging as like the rest of my friends.
Yes.
I just feel like a god walking the streets.
Wow. Okay.
And bad luck doesn't even, I don't even know what bad luck is because I'm always winning. Yeah. I'm always winning.
Hashtag winning. Hashtag winning.
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of in addition to the meditation, the altar work, you being a martial art expert, how else do you help people heal?
You know what? The best thing I do is lead by example. Okay. I like to drop seeds in people. I got away from telling people what to do and started giving them things what I did to help better myself. And that was the whole premise of my book, Poverty Consciousness.
Okay.
I wanted to give people a deeper vision and expand their consciousness on what the possibilities of this reality entail.
Okay. So before we get deep into your book, can you explain for us the difference that you saw between telling people and then showing people or leading by example? Like what was that transition, or why do you think it makes a difference in delivering it that way? You know,
I used to do a lot of public speaking. I used to go back to the inner cities and talk to children and just let them know that they don't have to do whatever they're doing and keep that's caused them to go down a path of trouble. Okay. So instead of doing that, I would reach like 1 out of 50 kids each time I talk. And I always felt as if I started wasting my time. Yeah. So I started focusing on me and winning, and it was drawing people. And I realized that when you give light, people that want the light, the Spirit's going to lead them to you. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. I don't try to save people. I don't protest. I don't do any of that anymore. And I've been winning ever since.
Okay. So by leading by example,
leading
essentially.
By example.
It seems so simple.
You know, a lot of people, a lot of church folks, they tithe. And what I do is give light. Okay. I give at least 2 hours of my time helping people a week, and I give money to people. Okay. If I'm at a gas station and Spirit tells me, hey, they need some extra help, I help them out. Wow. I buy people's groceries. Wow. I do whatever I can when I feel the urge to do it. Okay. I don't go out looking for it. I just get a feeling like, okay, they need help, and let me help them.
Right. Yeah. So when you decide to make these types of decisions, Spirit-led or it moved you, does that still help you in some way to heal and continue to grow and to continue to shed light?
It does. It helps me get back in sync with reality in the universe. Okay. Humans are so-called the most advanced beings on Earth, but we're the least connected to the Earth. We don't link up with our pineal glands like other animals do. Okay. By helping people and praying and saying mantras and giving light, the universe sees me more, and it helps me more. Okay. So by giving, I teach everyone to give. Okay. I make one of my requirements is to hold the door for 5 strangers. Okay. Smile at 5 different people. Okay. And help 5 different people every day.
Now those are things we don't see too much more any day.
We don't see
today. And sometimes people kind of growl at you, like, what you smiling for? But you still press forward, or you growl back, or how you deal with that?
Well, what I want people to realize is I'm not doing it for people. I'm doing it for myself. True. People are getting rewarded for my actions, but I'm doing it for myself. It's nothing wrong with being selfish. Yes. I do a lot of selfish acts. Okay. It helps people, but I'm doing it to better myself.
Understood. Let's talk about poverty consciousness. Can we hold that up so folks can see that to the camera and see what it is? So let's tell us first, what is poverty consciousness? Let's start there.
Sure. Poverty consciousness is nothing more than feeling that there's lack in the world. Okay. When you have poverty consciousness, a lot of doors don't open up for you. The world seems gray. Okay. You feel as if you're not worthy. Okay. That's poverty consciousness.
So is it kind of like, I'll never get ahead, or I don't have the money for that, or the man hold me back.
You always have excuses on not being able to do whatever it is you want to do.
Huh, okay.
And once I started realizing that I'm a God, and God don't make excuses. Okay. They make a way, they create.
I want to sit up straight on that stand. Let me sit up straighter,
they don't make excuses. They create a way out of no way.
Wow, okay.
And I'm not saying that I'm the God, but I'm of Him, so I have His abilities.
Yeah, and I think it's important to make that clarity, that distinction, so that people can hear you properly. You didn't say you were the God. You said you're a God. Yeah. Very good, very good. So now that you've explained to us very succinctly what poverty consciousness is, tell us about your book and how you help people win.
Well, this book is filled with tools that I've used to help me win. Okay. I have mantras in here that expands your consciousness. Okay. I have a couple rituals in here that you can use that dissolve your poverty consciousness. Okay. And I have some tips and tools on how to evolve spiritually in here.
Okay, okay. So when you were putting this book together, what space were you in that made you say, hey, let me, again, lead by example?
You know, like my first book, The Enlightened Taught, is a book of metaphysical spiritual poems. You can find it on Amazon.com, along with my book, Poverty Consciousness. Once you start working with the altar, you'll start getting downloads.
And what's download?
A download is when you're doing something like I was at work. I'm at work working, and all of a sudden I'm started getting all these lines of word and code in my head, and I was compelled to just write it down. So after about 40 pages of these downloads, I told 40. Okay. I told my wife, like, wow, I keep getting these downloads. I think I want to start writing me a book. Wow. And it started like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't subconsciously thinking, I'm going to write a book. But I have a deity on my altar by the name of Tahuti or Abraxas. Okay. He's an ancient deity that's he's like he's just amazing. Okay. I'll leave that little breadcrumb. Yeah, okay. Leave that little breadcrumb.
Google him.
There you go. And I anointed my third eye. Okay. And I anointed his third eye. Okay. And I sync my consciousness up with him.
Now, what does that mean when you say you anointed your third eye and his?
When I say it's just a way to tether my spirit with his consciousness.
Okay. Okay. So you form a connection.
You form a connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's a better way of saying it. Yeah.
We winning together. We winning. So give us an example of something that you wrote in the book that will help whomever read it come or begin to develop coming out of that poverty consciousness.
Well, I'll go ahead and give one of the rituals that I put in the book. It's called it dissolves your financial karma. And rich folks have been using it for thousands of years, and it's been a secret. But my master, Dr. Mitchell Gibson, my spiritual master, he divulged this secret, and I used it, and it changed my life.
That's what I was about to say. It sounds like it's some secret information. Okay.
It is some secret information, but I'll avoid sharing your,
Yeah, give us a little tidbit.
All you do is take some ginger. Okay. You shave a half a cup of ginger. Okay. You fill that with a half a cup of honey. Okay. And you zest a teaspoon of orange peel.
So ginger, like at the produce?
Yeah, the produce. Okay. You let that ferment in a glass, put it in your refrigerator on the night of the new moon. Okay. Let it sit for 2 weeks until the new moon. Okay. And you take a half a teaspoon of that every day for 40 days.
So you consume it?
And you consume it, right.
Ginger, honey, and lemon. Did you say orange zest?
Orange zest. Yeah.
Does it taste okay?
After it ferments, it tastes sweet, and the more you taste it, the better it tastes.
Okay, we will leave with you, Chris, and
But it works, and thousands of people, since I heard him say it, I spread it to all my friends, and we've all been doing it.
So help me and us understand, what do you believe happens with those things? The ginger, the honey, like why isn't it strawberries and lettuce and tomato? Like what is so significant about those three things?
Well, there's things out here that have been proven to work. Okay. And that's one thing that's been proven to work.
That combination.
It's kind of like alchemy. I'm also a occultist. Okay. I do things with herbs and all types of things to better myself. Okay. My favorite thing to do is sun gazing, though. I'm a solar adept. Okay. Me and about 179 of us have been able to get the sun to respond to us.
Okay. And what do you mean by the sun responds to you?
Well, we say mantras, and we sync our consciousness up with the sun, and it starts blinking. And we
like I'm blinking now.
Just like you're blinking now. Wow. It turns yellow, orange, or just blinks like a flashlight cutting on and off.
Really?
And when that happens, we all have a solar fetus in the sun. A lot of people don't know that. Okay. But once the sun starts responding to you, you can reach out to your solar fetus to get answers. You can talk to it.
And I can imagine that is a form of healing, or can be used as a form of healing as well.
The sun is the biggest healing tool we have on the planet.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. That we have on the planet. There's some people that don't even need food as long as they go out there and bathe in the sun. And for the beginning solar adepts, what I always suggest is go out in the sun, close your eyes and act as if your third eye is drinking the solar rays.
Okay.
Because what the sun is doing at all times to everyone around us is giving us terabytes of data every second.
So whether we're aware or not,
whether you're aware or not,
making the sun blink or not, we're receiving this.
You're receiving it,
okay.
But it's kind of like a catalog. When you put your intent on receiving, you know where to place it. But if you're oblivious to it, it goes through you, and it's kind of like you just, instead of drinking water, splashing yourself with water. Yeah.
So do you teach in your book?
Yeah.
The sun blinking, or is that one of the topics talked about?
I may put that in another book.
Oh, okay.
Because I haven't got the okay from my master to go into it.
Oh, understood.
You know what I mean?
Understood. So if someone's reading your book and they're learning the rituals or they're learning the mantras, you have clients that will attest, hey, this has worked, it's helped me heal. And if so, of course, not mention any names, but can you just share with us an example of a client who's read your book or worked with you and what they were going through and how you helped them heal?
Yeah, a lot of my friends didn't even have abilities until they started working with the altar.
Okay.
Once you start meditating and working with the altar, you're going to start getting powers. I'm a healer. My wife, she's a dream walker. She goes and she can tell you about your past lives and things like that.
Okay.
My daughter sees auras and portals opening up in the sky. So once you start meditating and doing your altar work, I'm not sure what abilities you have, but you'll know them. But one good friend of mine by the name of Jazz the Medium, she's a psychic now. Where she talks to people that have already transitioned.
Wow, okay.
And my wife, you can find her at I Am Divine Queen.
Right. I'm Divine Queen. Okay.
And she does tarot readings and oracle readings and all type of delicious readings.
Okay.
To help you manifest whatever you're trying to get out of life.
Okay.
And I can be reached at the Chris Enlightened.
Chris Enlightened.
Chris Enlightened at theenlightenedjourney.com.
Okay.
I got so many web pages and emails. And
so you got to keep them all organized.
I got to keep them all organized. I got to shorten up my stuff, but
okay, no worries. We got it. We're gonna have an opportunity to say it again.
Okay, cool.
At the end to make sure that the people who didn't catch it first gonna catch it at the end.
Okay,
so
cool.
No worries.
Good.
So you were mentioning Jazz the Medium. Was she someone that you worked with or helped on her journey?
Yeah, she's someone I work with diligently because, like most people, they didn't believe at first. But now she's a believer and she's teaching. She has her website up. She's making money, and that's one of the common things when you work with me. You make money.
So they flat out. Okay.
One of my services, I do spiritual resumes, and what I do is I encode ancient divine prayers on the background of your resumes.
Okay.
And I've helped hundreds of people find work when they couldn't get a call back, and they're making more money than ever.
So when you say you encode the resume, because I'm thinking a resume is a piece of paper. What do you mean you encode it?
Well, what I do, I figure out a way to literally place a divine prayer on the back end of the resume, and I do a cover letter and a resume for you. And what that does is make your resume vibrate higher. So whomever picks up that resume, they may have a stack of resumes, but something's going to draw them to yours. And that's what's been happening. And that's the power of mantras and divine prayers. They vibrate a little higher than anything else.
So is it accurate, I guess, to say that I know it's more detailed, but is it accurately to generally say, for understanding, that your healing that you help people do was like healing energetic work, or?
Yeah, some people call it Reiki. I call it love. Whenever you put love and joy in anything, that's the secret key to making magic work.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Joy and love. Whatever you do.
Okay. So when you work with different clients, again, whether it's you give them the book, whether it's one-on-one working, whether it's over the phone, or now, do you help people on your show? Because I believe you have a show as well, right?
Yeah, we do have a show. Me and my wife, we have a show called Twin Flame Radio. We can be found on blogtalkradio.com.
Okay.
/Twin Flame Radio.
Twin Flame Radio.
And we cover everything from relationship issues. Me and my wife, we've been together for 23 years, married.
Wow.
And we also do help people with spiritual issues and questions.
And yeah, that's what I was asking. So all of those platforms, do you help people heal, or do they have to just come to you, or how does that work? How do people come to you to get your healing?
No, the radio show is just a way for us to promote ourselves. And
Okay.
that's our free light that we give out. We always like to give free light.
Sure.
Because when you get free light, the universe pays you back other ways.
Sure. Yep.
So my services are found on my website,
Okay.
TheEnlightenedJourney.com. I reel people in with my numerology readings.
Okay.
I tell them deep things about themselves through their numbers and their name, and they're like, whoa, help me more. And then we do a consultation, and from there, I get them with the resumes, and it goes on from there.
So can you give us, I told you in the beginning, this time goes so quick. Can you give us, because I hear numerology a lot nowadays, so can you just give us like a quick idea of what a numerology reading is, or the purpose of it, or? Yeah.
Well, the purpose of a numerology reading is this. We've all come here for a reason, and we've all choose our parents, and we choose when we choose to spiral into this reality, and we give ourselves cheat codes to find.
So you saying I chose my mom and my dad?
You choose your mother, your dad, your path.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, to evolve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what the numerology reading does, it tells you what your life path is. It tells you what you're good at. I let you know what lane you should be working in to manifest, to maximize your money, to maximize your joy, your love, your personality, everything.
And what numbers do you use to do that?
1 through 9. I use the Chaldean system. It's an ancient way of tapping into people's frequency through numbers.
How do you get the numbers though? Like, where do they come from?
The number comes from your birthday.
Oh, okay. So like my personal numbers.
Yeah,
I
your
guess.
personal
Okay.
numbers. Yeah, and then I deduce your name along with your birthday, and I get some numbers. Yeah.
Wow. See, okay, this is like sensory overload. Like I'm having all these other questions, and I'm like, well, this is a different segment. This is a different segment. This is a different segment. So I'm going to ask you on set to check your calendar and let us know when you be able to come back in the future, because I'm pretty sure we're going to be getting some questions. You've dropped a lot of knowledge today, and I'm so grateful. So tell us again where people can get your book from.
You can get both of my books from Amazon.com.
Okay.
You can look up Poverty Consciousness. My name should pop up, Christopher Huffman.
Okay.
Or you can look up The Enlightened Talk, and that's THOTH.
THOTH.
The Enlightened Talk.
And your radio again?
My radio show is blogtalkradio.com/Twin Flame Radio.
Okay.
And my website is TheEnlightenedJourney.com.
Okay. And don't forget the Queen.
I was about to say.
I want to make sure.
Her website is IamDivine.com. IamDivineQueen.com.
See, I tried to help you, Chris.
Yeah.
I tried to help you. So, quickly, like in 20 seconds, if you can tell our audience one sentence, mantra, encouragement, can you look in that camera and let them know something?
Believe in yourself. Love yourself. Know you're great. Forgive yourself. And always win.
Hashtag winning.
Facts.
Facts. Yes, yes. Well, Chris, just as a form of gratitude for you coming and gracing the space with your book, with your knowledge, with your services, I have a little small token. It's a wristband because it's the new rage now.
Thank you.
And it says Healing Conversations with Coach Vee, just as a reminder for you coming here today. Tell people about us, share it, check us out on the YouTubes at Healing Conversations with Coach Vee. I'm so grateful. Can I borrow your book for one moment?
You can.
I'm going to put it in my camera so the people on the other side can see. Get this book. Get it. I didn't have time to read the back, but Chris told you where you can get his book at. So check it out. Read through it. I'm going to have to cop me a copy because there's always work to be done. Like there's just always work to be done.
You can also get it at Barnes & Noble. It did so well on Amazon. It made the bestsellers list. So it's at BarnesandNoble.com as well now.
Winning. Winning. So, as you know, this concludes this amazing episode of Healing Conversations with Coach Vee. I'm Coach Vee, certified life coach and personal growth expert with SVM Initiatives, LLC. Tune in and join us next week where I have another amazing person sharing their healing journey and how that develops into a service for the community. We'll see you next time.